From the depths of a darkened sky, the hum of countless wings rose like a storm gathering at the edge of silence. Moscow, long wrapped in the illusion of untouchable power, awoke to the whisper of machines guided not by chance, but by vengeance. One after another, Ukrainian drones carved their path across the night, shimmering like metallic fireflies with the sting of retribution hidden in their cores. The city that once believed itself immune to the reach of war suddenly trembled, its skies aflame with fragments of shattered certainty. What had been distant thunder on foreign soil now crashed upon the very heart of the empire, a reminder that no fortress, no capital, and no dream of invincibility stands forever against the tide of resistance. Ukraine carried out drone strikes on Moscow throughout the night, Mayor Sergei Sobyanin reported, adding that dozens of unmanned aircraft were downed. Sobyanin began reporting on the drone attacks, said that 34 Ukrainian drones flying toward Moscow were shot down. According to Russia's defense ministry, a total of 69 Ukrainian drones were shot down over 9 Russian regions, including Moscow Oblast, as well as over occupied Crimea overnight. Airspace over the Russian capital was closed due to the drone attack, prompting a temporary suspension of operations at Moscow's airports. Emergency services were dispatched to the sites where drone debris had fallen, the mayor said. No casualties or damage were reported. Kiev's forces regularly target Russian regions both along the front lines and in the rear with drones. The reported Ukrainian attacks come as Russia continues its regular strikes on civilian infrastructure in Ukraine, while the peace talks have failed to produce any tangible results. A Russian missile strike on Odessa Oblast killed a woman and injured several others, Governor Ole Kuiper reported. And another lovely story from sunny Russia. Russian soldiers and their relatives are being forced to pay monthly life support fees, bribes to avoid being sent into deadly assaults, to corrupt commanders, according to the wife of one soldier. She says that men in his unit are beaten and threatened with execution. The wife of Rodion Igorovich Shashnin says that her husband was mobilized into the 205th Motorized Rifle Brigade, Military Unit 74814, but was then sold to the 4th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, Military Unit 40,318, as a reconnaissance operator without any documentation. According to her, he was forced to sign a contract to make him a professional soldier, and thus unable to benefit from demobilization, along with many other men in the unit. Men were constantly beaten and threatened with being reset, executed, and many deserted. She says, "We were simply paying for life. 30,000 rubles a month, plus extra if we lost equipment. My husband was a poultry farmer, and we could pay over 100,000 rubles for a bird. And why did my husband even become a contract soldier? They simply forced him to sign a contract because many are still listed as 500 deserters as of 2023. People simply fled this unit because they were constantly threatened with execution. Shashin was wounded in August 2025, but was not evacuated for 3 days. When he was finally evacuated, his injury was listed as being domestic. His wife pressed for him to be treated, but he contacted her himself to say that he did not know where he was, and he was refusing hospital treatment. She believes that he was speaking under duress. I don't know where my husband is now, she says. Plus, they forced him to rewrite his report, saying he just suffered a blunt force trauma, that he wasn't blown up, and that he doesn't need hospitalization. Military Unit 40,318 forced him to do all this. She says that he was isolated, and his combat veteran ID and bank card were confiscated. Shashlin was not officially listed as being on combat duty and was sent to an assault unit after his family refused to pay for lost equipment. At the same time, she says, the military have been ignoring her appeals for help. People are filing over 2,000 complaints, and there's no enforcement against this unit. They're taking matters into their own hands. It's as if my husband is a prisoner of war. Who are we fighting against? When our own people are posing a threat to us? We're very tired. I haven't seen my daughter for 3 weeks because I'm trying to help my husband, who's in the Northern Military District. And I don't know where they've sent him now. She appeals to the authorities to save my husband's life. The prosecutor's office constantly beats up the unit for every complaint, and then they beat up our soldiers. And who else can they turn to if not their relatives? My husband said that no one leaves this unit because they are witnesses. What are they doing? What are they up to? I beg you to find out. Another story. Another proof of Russian moral degradation. And on the battlefield, paratroopers of Ukraine's 95th Brigade shot down a Russian four-post UAV. The drone, worth around $7 million, can fly up to 7 kilometers high with a 250-kilometer range. It was carrying 2 guided KAB-20S bombs when destroyed. President Trump in the United Nations, the war. It's not making Russia look good.
Everyone thought Russia would win this war in 3 days, but it didn't work out that way. It was supposed to be just a quick little skirmish. It's not making Russia look good. It's making them look bad.
Maia Sandu, the pro-EU president of Moldova, delivered an unprecedented address to the nation following today's large-scale arrests of pro-Russian agents across the country. In all solemnity, I have to inform you that the sovereignty, independence, territorial integrity, and future of our country are in grave and immediate danger. The Kremlin has spent hundreds of millions in an attempt to destabilize and spread violence and fear across the Moldova. I am addressing all loyal citizens. Do not permit the surrender of our country. Russia is not acting alone. They have many accomplices here in Moldova, traitors to their homeland that will sell it for a profit, as they have done before. These men don't have a country. They don't believe in Europe or in Russia. They believe in nothing but money. The Kremlin believes that we are all for sale, that we are too small and few to resist, that we're not even a country. But Moldova is a country and is our home, and we will defend it. In Moldova, more than 100 people were detained, 74 of them for up to 72 hours, as part of an investigation into an alleged Russia-backed plan to incite mass riots and destabilize the country around a critical parliamentary election. Victor Fortuna, Moldova's chief prosecutor from the Office for Combating Organized Crime and Special Cases.
During the criminal investigation, the activities of a group of people were identified and documented who systematically traveled to Serbia, where they received training. Most of the trainings had a tactical purpose, aiming to prepare for destabilization and provoke mass disorder in connection with the current electoral system, under the supervision of foreign instructors. Usually, for participating in these trainings, each person received a remuneration of approximately 400 euros. The topics that formed the basis of the actual training were tactics for breaking through lines, force structures and dispersing crowds, a resistance against law enforcement, handling special means, namely rubber batons, methods of evasion and application of handcuffs by law enforcement representatives. They were also trained with those who advised on handling firearms and other special equipment. 74 people were detained following the searches for a period of 72 hours. I mentioned that all these people were going to Serbia specifically.
Additionally, we have people trained on the territory of the Republic of Moldova in this context, but those who went to Serbia, the majority were trained by people from outside the territory of the Republic of Moldova and outside Serbia. So we are clearly talking about people from the Russian Federation who were involved in this training process for disorder and destabilization.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.